But right now on KCAL News on CBS Los Angeles, breaking news. You can see it there. LAPD is in pursuit of a burglary suspect. He's going pretty fast. Desmond Shaw is live overhead at SkyCal with more. Des.
Yeah, Pat, pretty fast at rush hour here. This started with LAPD's Mission Division, so somewhere in the Somar or Pacoima area, we believe. It's still LAPD in pursuit, even though we are blasting along the eastbound 210 here through the La Cañada Flint Ridge area, making our way towards Pasadena. Definitely the lighter of the two sides as far as traffic volume goes right here. You can see, though, up to about 90 miles an hour. Burglary suspects here in this late model Mercedes-Benz. I believe this is an E-Class, fairly capable, certainly a luxurious, but quick car here, and they are definitely on this gas pedal. Unclear how many people are in the car. Didn't hear that yet from LAPD. Of course, here we go with the typical pursuit tent. You can see the really dark windows there, but we are flying here. Burglary suspects, eastbound 210, making our way towards Pasadena, Pat.
Yeah, you know what? Your mind goes when you hear burglary suspects because of the things that have been happening in our area recently with the smash and grab robberies and those two suspects up in Irvine who were actually apprehended. So do we know where a possible burglary could have taken place, or have we heard that yet?
We have not heard that just yet. How exactly they know these suspects? They must know the vehicle. They must have, you know, I'm guessing that they saw this vehicle fleeing the scene, and that's how they were able to put two and two together on this one. But you see some really desperate driving here, and then unfortunately this is just not very uncommon when it comes to burglary or robbery suspects. We usually see them here really roll the dice as far as the speeds go, zigging and zagging out of lanes, cutting off cars, all kinds of activity like that. We had heard LAPD, probably because of dangerous driving earlier, they did go into tracking mode pretty quickly on this one, but then they decided to re-engage. And a lot of times when they do that, it's because, well, they back off trying to get this person to calm down. But then if they just continue to drive like maniacs, they decide, well, if they're going to just keep driving like this, then we're going to make, you know, a serious attempt to stop them. So they were back in pursuit. We saw them there, and here you go. They're not that far back. You know, it's really difficult for them to keep up here as well without endangering people. They don't want to zig and zag through traffic the way that this person is, but they are trying their best to keep up. They have an LAPD helicopter overhead as well. As we can see now, up to 105 miles an hour now. So dangerous here on this eastbound 210.
Unbelievable. Well, I shouldn't say unbelievable. We've seen this before, and we're going to bring in Mike Rogers at the desk now. Mike, you have some more information?
I do, Pat. Yeah, so I was just listening to the CHP radios because LAPD is talking about getting CHP involved, and so they were giving some of that information to the California Highway Patrol. This apparently was a residential burglary, so we know it happened at a home, not a business, and they also believe that there are 3 people inside. Now, CHP did want to clarify if weapons were involved in this, and I did not hear a response to that question, so it seems like something that LAPD may still be kind of looking at, but at least we know that it is a residential burglary. The LAPD believes there are 3 suspects inside. Now, the other interesting thing here is there's a helicopter with Desmond that's low, that's at about 1,400 feet. That's an LAPD helicopter. Now, I also noticed that there was a second helicopter much higher than that first helicopter. So it kind of was indicative of maybe a surveillance type thing. We've seen them do that before. LAPD calls them Idaho ships. They're Idaho helicopters is their call sign. And they'll get really high and they'll be able to surveil people. And then they'll try to get officers to maybe take them into custody. So total speculation on if that's exactly what happened here. But kind of when you see that one helicopter really high and then the other one kind of low, it kind of indicates that a little bit. So we'll see if that time will tell if that's actually what the case was here. But again, residential burglary suspects, they think there are 3 people in the car. All
right, they're still on the eastbound 210. I'm wondering, you know, I guess, Desmond, we haven't seen them try to take an exit, certainly since we've been on the air.
Whoa.
Wow, look at this.
Wow.
Now,
that's a sheriff's vehicle.
Pretty brazen. They just passed the sheriff's vehicle.
Yeah.
And we've got LAPD behind them. And who knows when the CHP could possibly join in. But that was a pretty bold move there.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So, okay, now we're making that transition, it looks like, from the 210 north of the Rose Bowl to the section here that goes east. So bear with us as we go through these tunnels right here. They're going to come out right over here. I'm actually really surprised at just how uncongested that transition ramp was, because that ramp is really notorious for backing up. I thought for sure they were going to hit a bottleneck there, but you know, as often happens with these pursuit suspects, not only do they have those tinted windows, but they just seem to get really lucky with traffic. We'll see if that luck continues here as we get on what would also be a congested freeway, even though we are at the tail end of rush hour here on the eastbound 210. but right around Lake Avenue is where we usually start to see things kind of bogged down a little bit. I'm kind of hesitant to look up in front of me right now because I don't want to lose this vehicle because they're driving so crazy. But you can see LAPD, they are right there in very close pursuit here. They have not shown any interest in wanting to let this one go.
And we have seen this driver make some pretty, you know, hasty moves there, going in and out of traffic. At one point, I thought they got really close in between two vehicles. And now still driving speeds over 100, if we're right, in terms of what we're looking at here on our speedometer, with LAPD close behind them. And I think, Des, you said at one point that you thought maybe they had they were tracking this vehicle and then decided, since they were driving so recklessly, that they really did want to try to get this person in custody. It's interesting how they make those decisions, because they usually do tracking mode, right? For that very same reason, because they're driving so dangerously. But at the same time, it seems like they want to make sure this driver knows, with these two other burglary suspects, there are 3 burglary suspects in this vehicle, that they do want this to stop, and they're right behind them, and they're going to continue this pursuit.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, everything that that law enforcement does is kind of a double-edged sword. There's no easy decisions that they make. You know, you go into tracking mode to try to get this person to calm down, and then they could still drive crazy, and then you're giving them some distance. And if they get out and run into a parking structure or something, they have a much higher probability of getting away. But if you decide to continue to stay engaged, you know, there's definitely a major public safety element. So I think the judgment is, well, if we're going into tracking mode and they're still driving crazy, then we may as well, you know, actually try to pursue them, because they're getting the worst of both worlds if they're in tracking and if the person's still driving really crazy like that. So
looks
we'll
like
see what they
it's
decide
getting a
to
little
do
more
here.
crowded.
Yep.
Yes, definitely here as we leave Pasadena from this section, kind of on and off through the 605, that kind of choke point. We'll see if the driver decides to. We've seen him drive on the right-hand shoulder just before we came to air and not hesitate to do that. Let's see if they do that. Indeed, they do cut right over at the last second before the off-ramp there. And now on the right-hand shoulder, with all this slow traffic, you got this guy going 75 miles an hour. Let's see if LAPD decides if they're going to stick with this. Look at all of the debris, all the dirt getting kicked up here. Liable to get a flat tire if they hit nails or any kind of junk that might be there on the right-hand shoulder. So this is the most dangerous stunt that we've seen.
So, yeah, and Pat and Des, I just wanted to jump in here. A couple things are happening right now. CHP is going to take over. They're getting their units in place. The sergeant at CHP, the Altadena office, wants to make sure that they have at least 2 or 3 units in place before they make LAPD back out. The other interesting thing, Pat, that kind of goes to what I was talking about earlier, that they may have been surveilling the suspect. CHP is saying we also need LAPD's unmarked units to get out of this as well. So LAPD apparently has patrol vehicles, marked patrol vehicles like you see right here, as well as unmarked vehicles involved in this, which again leads me to believe that this was some type of surveillance operation prior to the pursuit that then led to this pursuit.
Well, this is pretty, now, as you said, once CHP gets involved, that's it.
It's them or not at all.
Or not at all.
Right, so that's what they're trying to get situated right now. They want to make sure they have enough units. We're also running into this issue that we've seen time and again, where these guys are going so fast through these areas that we're switching CHP offices right now. So now they're trying to get some of their Baldwin Park units into place as well, along with the Altadena units. Meanwhile, you still have that unit from Mission Division of the LAPD, which is in the north end of the valley.
And you know what, now that it's slowing down tremendously, I would think that that could possibly make it better for law enforcement when they reach these kinds of speeds, just in terms of them trying to make a decision, make some changes.
Yeah. And it at least allows CHP to catch up, right? You know, because LAPD's been behind it the whole time. CHP's playing this catch-up game where they're trying to get in place, and when this guy's going 110 miles an hour, it makes it harder for CHP to get themselves situated to take it over, because it's much better for CHP to have this pursuit, because as we've talked about so many times, he could go from here to the top of the state and still be chased by CHP.
That's right.
So it's much better, and LAPD for sure wants that, because now you have officers that are nowhere near their actual area dealing with this chase. So they really want CHP to take it over. They've asked for them to do that. CHP is trying to get in place.
You know what, Desmond, is it possible that you can maybe look ahead now because the traffic has died down a little bit, or at least the speeds? Anyway, just wanted to possibly see what we're looking at here. Well, it looks kind of steady.
Yeah, I think we're going to I think we're going to see kind of this, what we traffic reporters might call kind of a choppy pattern, kind of on and off slowing from this point through the 605. Really, really normal for this time of the day as traffic's kind of starting to break apart for the evening. Going to be some slow spots here and there, and that's what can be really dangerous because, you know, the suspect's going to see wide open traffic, slam on that gas pedal, try to get to 100 miles an hour, but then they're...
All right, we lost Desmond's picture there for just a moment. Mike, let's pick up what Desmond was saying.
Yeah, he was talking about the traffic as well, and I was just kind of looking at our next traffic maps, and it is going to be heavy all the way kind of through the 605, as he mentioned. And it looks like, oh, there's his picture back, Pat, as we're kind of, you know, going through this choppy traffic, as Des talked about.
Des, you back with us?
Yes, back with you here.
Okay, we're probably going to have some, maybe, you know, hits intermittently.
Yeah, he's right up against the mountains there, and it kind of interferes with our signal a little bit when we're that close to the mountain on the 210 freeway. So our technical operations folks are working on that. But yeah, as we were kind of talking about, you know, CHP now trying to take this over from the LAPD, and it kind of, Pat, makes sense why they didn't really want to give it up, because this was somebody that they were surveilling. This wasn't somebody that they kind of picked up on a call. So it's likely a case that they have built against these people or this person, and they were ready to probably swoop in and kind of make that arrest, and it just didn't go the way they wanted to. We hear this coordination actually all the time, where these undercover units will get behind these vehicles, they'll kind of coordinate it. They'll never do a vehicle stop with their own undercover units, their unmarked units, right? They'll always bring in these marked patrol units because they don't ever want this person really to have a reason to say, I didn't know that I was trying to be stopped. So that's why they get these marked patrol units, they get everybody in place. It's a very, very coordinated effort. And 9 times out of 10, Pat, they stop, they pull over, and that's the end of it, and it never leads to this. But in this situation, for whatever reason, these people didn't stop, they took off, and here we are flying down the 210 freeway, now running from LAPD as well as CHP. So there is a whole host of things going on here. I'm just looking at some of the air traffic. I think they're going to try to get a CHP helicopter involved as well so that CHP can be fully in control with this, because at this moment, we're already in Monrovia, and this started the north end of the valley, Pat.
They sure did. Could they possibly have a fixed wing, the CHP?
Probably. I'm looking at, so they launch out of, they launch out of Fullerton Airport. So I'm kind of monitoring Fullerton to see if we've got any aircraft launching out of Fullerton so far, and we don't yet. That doesn't mean that won't happen, but we still have the LAPD helicopter. 2 of them are still overhead, and they're calling this pursuit for those units on the ground. CHP is trying to get themselves in place, and we have his live picture back.
All right, and Desmond, do we have you back with us?
Yes, we do. Sometimes we have some difficulties when we're kind of up against the San Gabriel Mountains, but here we go on the eastbound 210. You know, I was kind of wondering, because, you know, we have seen it a couple of times in recent memory, if maybe LAPD with some heavy traffic, you know, maybe they would think about a pit maneuver or something on the freeway, but I don't think so, because you see that these vehicles do not have the push bars on the front, so I can't imagine that we would see you know, a pit maneuver on the freeway, and always a dicey maneuver in the handful of times that we have seen it, just because, you know, you could very easily push this vehicle into somebody else's vehicle, and then that's, you know, going to be a whole separate expensive issue for LAPD to bring this one to an end. So as we are making our way through the Arcadia area and Monrovia, it's just kind of this loosening pattern. On the gas, then on the brakes, these little pockets where you come to a complete stop, and then 50 feet later, you're able to hit the gas pedal again. So it's going to be this on and off pattern through the 605, probably to about Azusa. That's usually where things begin to loosen up if the suspect decides to go that far. And we have, you know, covered a pretty decent distance now. This began in the Somar-Pacoma area, LAPD's mission. We heard about, the first place we heard about this was off the 210 at Osborne Street, so near Lakeview Terrace, and we've just been on the 210 the entire time. No desire to get off the freeway, and LAPD, no desire to give this one up until they can get CHP in place. Okay, and that, Mike, do you have more information on that? Because my next question is, why aren't they in place now? Well, right, and I'm listening to that. And so 2 things. My colleagues on the desk got some information. This actually started at Polk and Fenton, Fenton Avenue and Polk Street in the north part of the valley. It's kind of north of the 210. If you know where Olive-View UCLA Medical Center is, it's almost kind of near that, maybe a mile or so away. As to your question about where is CHP, they're still trying to get in position because this guy's been going so fast. He's kind of bouncing
in and out of their offices, right? So, I mean, we have the freeway, so you can travel through a CHP office area very quickly. So you had the Altadena units that were trying to catch up, and then on the other side, you have the Baldwin Park units that are now trying to wait for him at an exit. So they're trying to put themselves in place to be able to take it over. But the other, wrench in this is that because they probably have some information that we don't, CHP does not want to get involved with only one unit. They want to wait until there are multiple CHP units together to chase it. Because again, it's not a situation where you can mix and match CHP and LAPD, because CHP doesn't play that way.
No.
So it's
all CHP or nothing.
Exactly. So they're waiting for the CHP units to get enough of them together to be able to take it over.
All right. Well, Desmond, considering he seems to be, he's been committed to this, well, to the middle lane for most of the time, and that's basically about all he can do because there's traffic on either side. And also interesting to me that they have not tried to make an exit off the freeway onto surface streets. Of course, we have no idea right now in terms of where this driver or where this car actually came from or where they could be going. Sometimes we try to make a measure of if they have the address, if law enforcement knows that, and say it started in a particular area, they're returning to the area because they're familiar with that. But we just don't know at this time, do we, guys? We just know that it started around Polk and Renton, and now we are here.
Coming through Duarte.
Upper San, yeah, coming up on Duarte. So that's a long way away. But we also know that the burglary suspects, this was a residential burglary, not a business.
Yeah, correct, residential. And Pat, if Mike in the control room, if we can come out to my computer here, I just kind of want to show you, Pat, we were talking about the aircraft. This is a law enforcement helicopter, this is a law enforcement helicopter, this is a law enforcement helicopter, and we've got CHP that just took off out of Fullerton. So
the fixed wing?
It's actually a helicopter. They're not putting their fixed wing up just yet. They're putting their helicopter up. But so, our question was, do they have eyes on it? And they have a lot of eyes on it. And this is the helicopter, Pat, that I was telling you about that was doing the orbits up here. You can see his trail right here. All these yellow circles is where he was, and his altitude was pretty high. He was up between 4,000 and 5,000 feet, which is kind of what led me to believe that they may be doing surveillance. So as you can see, though, we have a lot of aircraft now following this chase. Well,
Desmond, take us through how long you've been over this, because when we first came to you, I mean, this guy, I say guy, was driving at just really high speeds, up to 100 miles and more. And now, for the last 10 to almost 15 minutes, we've been seeing these very low speeds because the freeway has been pretty congested.
Yeah, fortunately not taking as many risks as they were. I mean, we're still seeing some zigging and zagging and getting into the center divider when they have to, over to the right-hand shoulder when they have to. And you'll notice, LAPD still with them there. So when we had that section there back when we were leaving Pasadena and they cut away from the Madre exit to continue on the right-hand shoulder, and when we, zoom back out, LAPD was still with them. So I'm guessing, LAPD must have gone on the right-hand shoulder to stick with them as well. So hopefully the suspect at least realizing that, those kinds of dangerous tactics are not going to work to evade law enforcement. Well, I say that, and then they go back right onto the right-hand shoulder again. I'm kind of wondering, too, if this vehicle may be equipped with run flats, because a lot of these higher-end luxury vehicles tend to be, which, could also complicate things if they were to think about a spike strip or anything like that. We have, even during rush hour traffic, we have seen some really good spike strip attempts in the past. That may be something that they're thinking, but if that is the case and this vehicle is equipped with those kind of really expensive tires, then that's going to be an issue. We haven't heard anything about a spike strip attempt at this point, but all those eyes from the ground and the air, and here we go now. Speaking from the ground, it looks like this is now officially CHP's pursuit. Here they are, and you can see, they do have all the CHP vehicles have those push bars there in the front, and my understanding is that all CHP officers are also PIT certified. So we've seen them do it before. Not saying that they're going to do it this time, but certainly have to wonder if that's one way that they may consider while they're in traffic pulling a pit maneuver to try to immobilize this vehicle. We'll see what the strategy is going to be, or if they're just going to stick on this with all those eyes from the ground and the air.
And as we said, CHP is everywhere. They're all across the state, so they can always even change units if this guy continues. If they let him, I say let him, continue to go further. What's another freeway coming up, possibly, Desmond. Is there an opportunity or a possibility? Well, not there in the carpool lane. Certainly not making any
You're right, and there's
effort to get over.
There's no carpool connectors from the 210 to any of the other freeways. We passed the 605. Next will be the 57 over by the Glendora curve. That'll be about 6 or so miles ahead of us here. Still got some time and still some traffic congestion before we get to that, and then otherwise they'll continue on the 210 headed towards San Bernardino County. So we'll just have to see what the suspect decides to do, but they seem to be pretty content to just be sticking with this 210 freeway. Are they headed, or do they live in the Inland Empire? Is that where they're headed, thinking that they can get out and run somewhere that they know better than the police? I mean, we have to imagine that the police have a pretty good idea of where this car is registered if it was the vehicle that, you know, alerted them and started this whole pursuit in the first place. So I don't think that's going to work for those suspects. We just, you know, and there's times too where we see really crazy pursuits and then all of a sudden they just decide to pull over and give up. So, you know, hopefully that's how this one is going to end, especially after all the wild driving we've seen. We'll just see how this one plays out. And again, we believe 3 people in the vehicle as well. Maybe they're all talking it over, trying to come up with some kind of strategy on how they're going to get out of this. But the odds definitely not in their favor. And
you know what's interesting too, you just said it, Desmond, we were talking about maybe going getting off the freeway, or if they actually have a plan to travel to somewhere that they're familiar with to possibly, we've seen this before, get out and run, all 3 of them, try to disperse and make it more difficult for law enforcement to apprehend. But let's just remember, this was a burglary that took place at Polk and Renton, and it makes you, well, we know that's where this started. That's where they, that's where they tried to stop the vehicle, right? Where the burglary took place, but we know it was residential. And you know, looking at this, you might want to think, well, maybe they knew who they were burglarizing, because if that's the case, this is a long way away from where they are now, if they're traveling to somewhere that they're familiar with. Right, yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's very hard to tell. Are they just trying to get out of the city and hope they get lucky, or do they, you know, have a location that they're going to? And, you know, Pat, I was just kind of thinking about it here because I'm looking, so an LAPD helicopter came and relieved the other LAPD helicopter, so we're kind of on our 3rd LAPD helicopter that's been involved in this. But we've seen pursuits that get out here, and LAPD starts to have an issue with their radios because they're not designed to really be in this area. We are way far away from the LA city limits here, and so we've listened to it before on pursuits where all of a sudden they can't hear each other, they're having trouble communicating with their dispatchers, they're trying to find a mutual aid frequency with the sheriff, and I've actually heard watch commanders cancel pursuits like that before because they're worried about officer safety. If something happens and the radios are not working where they're at, then they'll cancel the chase. So we kind of got CHP to take this over and probably in the nick of time here, because if they started losing radio communications, I'm curious to know if the watch commander would have let them continue to chase it. Now, of course, you have the helicopters overhead. They would have continued to chase it forever, but we probably wouldn't see this full-blown pursuit right now if they had lost communications. You know, and again, I keep thinking about the distance here. This started in the, Pacoima, Sylmar area? Yeah, north of Sylmar a little bit. Yeah. And where are we now, Desmond? We're in the East San Gabriel Valley. Are we past Duarte? I know they were approaching Duarte at one point. So they've made, yeah, we're well past Duarte now. We are in the city of Azusa here as we're making our way through Azusa Avenue, and the next will be into Glendora and Laverne and Claremont and the Upland area if they continue. So we're going to start to head through all these small little lovely little towns along the Foothill Freeway, along the 210 from Azusa all the way over, making our way into San Bernardino County. It seems to be the MO for this suspect here, who's just been keeping it to the same freeway the entire time. And again, you know, with 3 people in the car, because we've certainly seen it in the past, they have to think that they're strategizing something. You know, where exactly are they headed? Maybe they're looking something up on their cell phone, some area where they think that they can lose the police, or headed to a friend's house, or somewhere where they can blend in, a shopping center. So many things, you know, where we've seen suspects running into shopping centers, Walmarts, Costco's, those sorts of places. And, you know, the longer this drags on, the longer it makes me think that. And, you know, the thing, too, they're not driving at speeds of 100 miles per hour, pretty much keeping to the speed limit there on the freeway. So, again, I'm going to go with Des in terms of trying to look up where they're going to go. Yeah, now, I mean, we're going to continue to follow this pursuit on Channel 9 and our streaming channel, CBS News Los Angeles. The evening news with Nora O'Donnell is next. All right, breaking news. We're live on KCAL and we're streaming on CBS Los Angeles, CBS News Los Angeles. We are following a pursuit of burglary suspects. At least 3 people seen in this vehicle here. This started in the Pacoima-Sylmar area, and we are now in Azusa and beyond. It started out with LAPD chasing these people, and actually undercover vehicles at first, unmarked vehicles, and then LAPD marked cars. Then the CHP took over. And as we're at now, Desmond, we're going to let you pick this up. It looks like we're picking up speeds again. I just saw 100 miles per hour where it's going back down now, but I'm going to let you pick up the coverage from here.
Yeah, overall, Pat, I would say things are maybe a little bit relatively more calm than they had been earlier, certainly since we saw the beginnings of the chase when this person was up to 115 miles an hour and cutting across all lanes of the freeway between La Cañada, Flint Ridge, and Pasadena, and along the right-hand shoulder and the center divider when they had to, kind of just been in the carpool lane. You'll still see the speeds getting kind of up and down, or as our speedometer adjusts. We're actually pretty close to the speed limit right now, and just kind of hugging the carpool lane. So definitely more calm compared to what we saw earlier. Still, obviously, refusing to give up these burglary suspects that began with LAPD's Mission Division in the north end of the San Fernando Valley out of Sylmar has long since been taken over by CHP as we hit another little pocket of traffic as we get ready to cross the congestion with the 57 freeway. So we're going to be passing the 57, now continuing through San Dimas and Laverne as we make our way towards San Bernardino County, Pat.
And you know what, Desmond, we were talking about law enforcement actually tracking this vehicle at one time and then really going all in and trying to get them to come to a stop. According to Mike Rogers, there are at least, what, 4 law enforcement helicopters overhead?
Yeah, and just now CHP's helicopter took over. So at one point we had, and let me see, so we still have that LAPD helicopter that I was telling you about there. It's called their Idaho helicopter. It's the one that kind of they use for investigatory work. That one is still overhead, and then the other LAPD helicopter pulled off, and now we've got the CHP helicopter overhead, and you see it right here. They're the ones that are calling it for the ground units. This is the other LAPD helicopter that was with it. But, as we're looking at the map here, Pat, we're only a couple of exits away now from San Bernardino County, and I already hear San Bernardino CHP now talking about taking it over. So just like we talked about,
it can run anywhere.
Anywhere in the state, and CHP is ready for you.
That's interesting too, guys, how they will actually are able to come in and not only have enough information to get their own units in place, but it doesn't matter really which jurisdiction it is.
Right, and it's interesting because sometimes there's borderline calls that we deal with here on the desk, and we'll call LA CHP, and they tell us no, it's San Bernardino, and they all share. It's called a CAD system. I think it's computer automated dispatch or computer aided dispatch, and that can share across all of the offices. So it's not even like you have to have a dispatcher typing in all the information. It just shares across the whole agency, and they can kind of just see everything, and it's very helpful for them to kind of read up on it, if you will, before it gets into their area.
Oh, of course, because we've also seen incidents, if you will, Mike and Desmond, where the CHP, the same unit, I mean, they can be on this for a long period of time and then decide, well, okay, maybe we do need a fresh pair of eyes.
Right.
And we've also seen instances where it could be, 45 minutes, and then you've got another CHP unit.
Right, I think we all 3 of us did that pursuit that
That's
almost went to Palm Springs.
Yeah.
And those guys were just like every 10 minutes it was a new CHP car. So, when they go this fast through these different offices, it takes up almost no time for these officers that are involved because they swap out so quickly.
And Desmond, you were describing these CHP vehicles. They have the apparatus where if they wanted to do a pit maneuver, they certainly could. They're equipped to do that.
That's correct. Yeah, all of the CHP cruisers all have push bars because, a lot of the time these officers will be out there responding to crashes or disabled vehicles, and they need to have that capability to be able to push vehicles off the freeway or out of lanes if they're busted up or immobilized. And so that's the primary reason I believe why they all have those push bars, but also can be used in a pursuit to initiate a pit maneuver if necessary. believe that they are all PIT certified. I think they still have to get permission from their sergeant to do that. They can't just go up and pit anybody just because they see the opportunity to do that. Of course, they still have to follow the chain of command. But of course, now that we are up to freeway speeds, and I believe we're going to be through certainly the worst of the traffic that we've seen here on the 210, we're not going to see that at highway speeds. If that was going to happen, it was going to be back in that rush hour traffic. It's still a very, very rare thing. I've only seen it, I think, 3 or 4 times ever happen on the freeway, and that was all at extremely low speeds, heavy traffic, or when a vehicle was going 20 miles an hour with flat tires. So not going to be in the offing now at this point. Now, if they decide to take an off-ramp, then that could be a good opportunity as they get to the bottom of that off-ramp. Sometimes we see the officers come in there and just come right up to the back of the bumper and spin that vehicle around, or maybe they'll want to start thinking about spike strips or something like that. But opportunities definitely kind of limited as we've been on the freeway the whole time. Haven't heard any talk about spike strips or anything to this point.
Yeah, and for them to do a spike strip, I mean, they have to be able to be close enough to the vehicle, right? I mean, it's not as if this guy has been hugging the middle of the road or the middle of the highway for quite some time now, but because those spike strips are only so long or so wide. So that certainly would have to, those things would have to be in place in terms of the placement of the car, right, for them to even do a spike strip.
Yeah, and I think, Des, correct me if I'm wrong, the times that we've seen them use spike strips are when either the freeway was much more empty than it is now, or they were able to run a brake behind the behind the suspect to be able to kind of eliminate some of that traffic, because even if you get somebody ahead, trying to toss it in front of the suspect vehicle without hitting any other vehicles is going to be nearly impossible. And as you mentioned, Pat, the freeways, I don't know how long this freeway is, but at least 4 lanes, maybe 5. Like,
yeah, it looks,
you can't get a spike to go across all 5 lanes.
So now, Des, we're faced with the the other avenue we have here is just to follow this, because they certainly wouldn't do. You talked about doing a pit maneuver. Well, I thought traffic might have been slowing down a bit again. But interesting thing too, we are used to you, Desmond, describing what you're seeing. We haven't been able to see inside this vehicle at all because of the tinted windows. So there's that. We can't see if the driver is moving around or any of those things, which we have been able to do in a lot of different pursuits. And we really got to base some of our commentary on what we're seeing happening inside the vehicle. But it's very difficult to do that here because we can't see inside. But we just have reports from law enforcement that there are 3 people in this car.
Yeah, I did see what looked to be possibly a female in the passenger seat. Possibly. I definitely did see someone that was wearing a tank top that was sitting, and they were sitting quite still, not fidgeting around or anything like that. We did briefly get a look at that for a time, and then we believe that there's someone in the rear seat as well on this. And so if this is just going to continue, then you wonder how much gas is in the tank. This is I think this may actually be a C-Class. I had said an E-Class. I'm not a Mercedes expert. The sedans all look kind of similar to me, but regardless, you're going to get some decent gas mileage out of this car. Certainly, if they had a full tank, then they could easily make it to Arizona. But they were driving pretty crazy there, where they were probably getting some single-digit gas mileage numbers early in the pursuit when we were on the 210 around locking out of Flint Ridge up to 115 miles an hour and then slamming on the brakes and on the gas pedal again. But now we're just kind of cruising along. I mean, you could maybe even have the cruise control on at this point, just sticking to the carpool lane. There's been no one in front of them. They've been going between 65 and 85 miles an hour. And so, what is the strategy at this point for these suspects?
And Pat and Des, I was just kind of listening to the radio traffic because, again, we're getting to that situation where we're moving over to San Bernardino, so they're relaying certain pieces of information. The vehicle apparently is registered out of the city of San Gabriel, which we obviously passed a long time ago. But maybe when they initially got on that 210 freeway,
that's where
they were going to make a beeline for wherever they live in San Gabriel, but realized that LAPD wasn't going to back off them, and so now they're in this situation where they just kind of kept going east, and here we are. And then the other thing, Pat, I just heard the CHP asked for their inland division, which is in San Bernardino, to bring in their air support. So it sounds like the CHP airship that's over it may want to swap out with the other one. Interestingly enough, there is already a CHP fixed wing over a police shooting in Fontana.
Oh, wow.
So we're headed that way. So we'll see if they swap out the helicopter with the fixed wing.
All right, well, that's pretty good information. At least they know where this vehicle is registered, and so far we haven't heard that this was a stolen vehicle.
Right, and again, that's what I was going to say next, is I haven't heard any mention of, they call it 10851, of it being stolen, which obviously gives them a great clue of who might be in the car. But again, if we're dealing with a situation where LAPD was surveilling these guys before this thing started, LAPD probably also knows who they are. LAPD has probably also already identified them. So who is in the car may not necessarily be the question. It's just getting them to stop.
And of course, they shared information with CHP for CHP to get involved in the first place.
Yep.
So again, this is now we're watching this this vehicle not driving as reckless, even though speeds have picked up. But still going. You know, a lot of people drive 80 miles an hour on the freeway here in Southern California. Let's be pretty real about that.
Well, now he's passing on the shoulder, though.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah.
Desmond?
Well, this is one of those sections, I think, of the 210 where it goes from 4 lanes down to 3. There's a couple of little sections here as we make our way between the 57 and the 15 where it's not 4 lanes in a carpool lane all the way through. You like lose a lane at a couple different junctures, and so it tends to create these little pockets of traffic, and that's what we're dealing with right now here. As you know, now this is kind of dangerous again on the out of the carpool lane. You can see even the carpool lane kind of slow at this point, and so 85 miles an hour, and everyone else is going 30 or 40. Definitely pretty dangerous here. I think the traffic will end completely by the time we get past the 15. Then we'll see if they are trying to maybe make it towards the 15 and the Golden Pass or San Diego, or if they're just going to stick to the left side of the freeway, then they're just going to head to San Bernardino and beyond. I'm just thinking that these suspects are probably, at this point, maybe just buying time. Maybe they know the inevitable, or if they can't decide on anything to do, then we've seen this a lot of times too, where they just want to run out the clock. As long as they can keep this going, that's less time that they're going to be behind bars. Certainly a distinct possibility. So 3 people believed to be in the car going through some kind of dodgy traffic here at 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, and it's different when you're going 80 and everybody else is going way less than you are. It's one thing when everybody is going around the same speed, even if it's 80 miles per hour. But now this vehicle has picked up speed, as Desmond just mentioned. He's passing everybody on the freeway. But again, no rhyme or reason as to what they're thinking right now. But the biggest probable possibility here is that, where are they going to go? They've got the CHP on their tails behind, and I'm sure they probably noticed that there's law enforcement overhead. So they're basically, I don't know if cornered is the right word to use at this particular time, but they really have nowhere to go unless they keep running this out on the freeway. And even if they make an exit, they've got to know that they're still not going to give up this pursuit. So it's just a waiting game, really, to see what will happen if they run out of gas, if they make an exit. Well, look at that move, Desmond.
Yeah, that was, hadn't seen them do anything like that in quite some time. Just kind of a sudden little maneuver, but look, there's CHP
right behind
right
them.
there. I mean, if they are sticking to the same freeway, I will say CHP, they are obviously very professional in how they will do spike strips. They could certainly have the opportunity to throw a spike strip out there if they wanted. It would be complicated. It could certainly be a little bit on the danger. Oh, and look at that. I say it, and there it was. There was the attempt right there. So that was why the traffic was slow. So that was what Mike was talking about earlier. They did run a traffic break back there. That's what was causing that traffic. And the officer was there in the center divider because the suspect had been sticking to the carpool lane that entire time. So they tried to do it right there. That's the first serious attempt we've seen to bring this to an end. Unfortunately, not successful. The suspect was privy to it, and they dodged there to the right at the last minute.
Well, you've got a good eye, Desmond, because as fast as that, as you said it, I was trying to see it for myself. Hopefully we can re-rack that and show our viewers what you saw. So there was a spike strip attempt. I noticed the vehicle moving, and I guess it was moving out of the way of the spike strip. I just thought it was trying to get through some of the other traffic.
Well, and what was kind of interesting, we were like, as I looked at that one, it looked to be a little bit different than the ones LAPD uses. If you ever have seen the LAPD ones, they're a black strip that's got some spikes on it. This one looked like one that may be able to stretch further. LAPDs are only about the size of one lane.
Yeah.
This one looked like it was a metal one that can kind of extend further out, but you know, that officer looked like he kind of had trouble because, of course, there are cars in the area. You have to do it at just the right second. This guy obviously saw what was going on and went around it. It's a really tough situation to try to deploy a spike strip on a freeway when there's other cars on the road.
I wonder what they're thinking. I mean, if they know if the CHP was willing to do something like that, they're not going to give up.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a suspect that is not aware that spike strips exist or whatever, the first time you see it, now you're going to be aware that that's something that they will try to do.
Yeah, they have that in their wheelhouse.
Right.
And could possibly try it again. So what are we looking at, Desmond? They're still behind this guy, obviously.
Yeah, we'll widen out and show you here. There's actually another CHP SUV. Yeah, we got a cruiser here and an SUV. Looks like they're going to get involved, and you can see how well CHP especially coordinates all of these efforts. We'll see if they try another spike strip or something like that, and you have to wonder now if that's kind of panicking the suspect, because now they really realize that CHP means business on letting this go. That maybe they're not interested in just seeing how far the suspect's going to drive, and try to wait until they run out of gas or something. CHP making a really serious attempt to end this one right there. They may try again if they think that that they're able to do that. You see how how much coordination was required in that. There was at least 3 different cruisers that were involved to try to make something like that happen. So we'll see if they slow down traffic and try again. We are, in San Bernardino County now as we make our way into Ontario, and as we've said many times, as we have witnessed from so many chases, things definitely a little bit different out here in the Inland Empire. We see that the law enforcement can use some more aggressive tactics if they feel that this is going to bring something to an end more quickly without dragging something out, kind of lengthening the time that that the public can be endangered in this. So that's what makes me think we may see something else like that in the near future to bring this one to an end.
Well, Desmond, we'd like to re-rack the actual spike strip if we can show our viewers. There we go. Okay, because that was so surprising to me. There it is, right there. Yeah.
And unfortunately, you saw it got tangled up a little bit.
It did. It didn't just go straight.
Yeah,
like
he wasn't able to get a clean shot out of there.
Deploy. That was unfortunate. But, there was that attempt. And again, as we've been talking here, they witnessed it too.
Yeah.
So the driver knows that could be another possibility and that they're very serious and they want to get these people into custody.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Pat, I'm listening to some of the radio traffic here, and CHP doesn't ever want to get caught off guard in this, it sounds like. The airship that's overhead is already saying, hey, we're good on fuel now, but somebody needs to be ready to replace us, whether it's another CHP helicopter. 40 King, which is the San Bernardino Sheriff's helicopters, have already volunteered to come and take it over as well. So the CHP helicopter said, well, not yet, because we've still got fuel, so let's wait till we get a little closer and then swap out to kind of maximize our time here. So there are no signals of giving up from them. They're coordinating to make sure that everyone stays fresh. I just heard all the Baldwin Park units drop out. These are all Rancho Cucamonga units that are in pursuit now. We'll soon be in San Bernardino area. Those guys are waiting.
Okay, Mike, we want to replay that spike strip again. We're going to put it in some slow motion. See on the right of your screen, there he is.
Gets kind of tangled, he sees it and...
Yeah, okay. Well, a good attempt there.
Yeah, and you got to give it to him. I mean, it's got to be a last-minute throw. It can't be something that's kind of set out there because of all the other cars. Oh, we're getting off the freeway?
Is that what's happening, Desmond?
Yeah, that's the beach carpool lane exit, one of the few that's on that has its own dedicated carpool exit. It looks like they thought about it for a second, but decided to stick with the freeway. So we got a little bit more traffic right here again. Now, is this traffic because CHP is running a break for another spike strip attempt? Let's see here, because I kind of feel that this late at night, the traffic may be a little bit unusual to see any kind of slowing. It's actually just a very, very little pocket of slowing as I look out the window here. It looks like things are going to open up for the suspect, so probably not a spike strip attempt ahead as we do a little repositioning right here. But, you know, we've been on the shoulder so much of this pursuit now. I'm kind of surprised that that the suspect hasn't kind of spike stripped themselves with some kind of debris or something like that, you know, in the roadway, because that's where Caltrans or CHP, when they respond to debris in the roadway, they push everything to the center divider or to the far right-hand shoulder, and then Caltrans comes and sweeps everything up once a week to remove all of that debris. So maybe this roadway was freshly swept today or what, but I just feel like as much as we've been seeing out of lanes with this pursuit, kind of amazed that the suspect hasn't, you know, hit something significant yet at this point.
And we're talking about, we suspect that this is a Mercedes of some kind, just the kind of vehicle they're driving. Certainly have good tires, we know that, as far as those vehicles are concerned, but, you know, you wonder about gas situation where this started in Pacoima, Sylmar area, and now they're in Fontana. That's interesting. There's another incident that's going on right now in Fontana, so law enforcement are out and about. And there they are. They're
we were
still
actually,
that left shoulder. Oh, go ahead, Desmond.
We were actually on our way to that incident. I know Mike would have been talking about that, and then we actually, you know, got word of this going on, and were able to be the first to intercept this pursuit in the La Cañada Flint Ridge area. Now we're, you know, basically going out that way. We're past where we were originally being dispatched to. So just kind of interesting. You just never know where these pursuits are going to take you as we make our way now well into the Inland Empire. Is this suspect thinking about going to Big Bear? That's certainly, you know, one of the roads that connects her up the 210, Highway 330, or Highway 18. If they wanted to do something like that, or are they just going to take this all the way to the end where it bends around south to Interstate 10 in Redlands and continue? Maybe they're headed towards Arizona. Maybe that's what they're thinking. I mean, you know, just, I mean, let's be real here. Just because they cross state lines doesn't mean CHP is going to say, oh, gosh darn it, you got away this time. They're going to let, you know, their fellows know on the other side of the border there, and they're probably going to do what they have. And, you know, Arizona, by the way, as you may have seen on social media, they have some pretty interesting pursuit techniques. They have this claw-like thing that can come out and grab the back of a bumper or a tire and completely immobilize a vehicle. So
wow.
The suspect better not hope that they're headed for Arizona.
You know what, guys, we never talked about that. Is there anything in the works to get something like that here?
There are a couple of agencies that have it, as Des was mentioning. Some of the Arizona agencies have it. I don't know why it really hasn't caught on over here. I don't know if there's some safety concerns with it. Obviously, here in California, we're a little bit more careful with those kinds of things, so I don't know if there's
more populous, maybe?
Yeah, maybe it's harder to do in it, but yeah, as Des mentioned, it kind of just totally immobilizes the vehicle. It shoots from the front of the patrol car, wraps around the tires, and just kind of slows it down. So yeah, we don't have any of those here, though.
No, and they haven't shown any signs of really slowing down, except when they get in traffic where it's almost at a standstill, but they're still going at high speeds right now.
Still in the shoulder.
Rialto area. Still in the what?
It's still on the shoulder, too.
Yeah,
He's still
they love
not even
that
in the
left
lane.
shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've been on this for... Go ahead, Desmond.
No, I was just going to say, you see CHP, they've been kind of reluctant to follow them onto the shoulder or the center divider if they have to. Well, all of a sudden here, speeds really getting high. Now back up over 100 miles an hour, just as it kind of seemed like we were in this kind of lull, cruise control around 85, just got up to triple digits there again. But I was just saying, CHP, there you see not going into the center divider. Of course, they have their lights and sirens on, so they can kind of get people out of the way. So they don't need to get in the center divider and risk, you know, themselves getting a flat tire on this one.
I was going to say they know the roads better than most people, so they've got the right idea. But again, traffic is pretty light right now. Does this give you an idea of them trying to do something else?
I was just going to ask Des that. Des, do you see anybody running a brake behind him? The freeway seems really empty.
It is really empty. I do not. Well, they're probably going to be one of these officers back there. Oh, look at that. Oh, there was going to be another spike strip attempt there. So they did have another one set up. I was kind of widened out there, but right there. They were in the center divider again, but unfortunately this time the suspect was on the right side of the freeway. Oh, okay, here comes our first freeway change, that we've seen after that last spike strip attempt there, right before the 215. So looks like we're going to be heading southbound on the 215 towards Riverside and the Riverside interchange. Our first deviation away from the 210 now as we make our way at about 70, 80 miles an hour. We've now seen 2 spike strip attempts here. We'll see what else is in the offing for CHP as we make this transition southbound. That's
such interesting. When we saw the traffic, very little traffic at that time, we kind of figured something could be going on. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Des, I don't know if we can get tight on the car. CHP is saying something may have broken on the vehicle, and they're seeing sparks come out from underneath of it. I don't know. You mentioned a bunch of times that there's debris all over the side of the shoulder there, so maybe he picked up on something. But those units were saying they were seeing. Sorry, just looking at the traffic. Units seeing that there was some sort of spark coming from under the vehicle.
But we know that they didn't
see any sparks on this side.
And we know they didn't, that the spike strips didn't work.
Yeah, they said on the radio spike was unsuccessful.
So it's not that.
So it's not that, yeah. So maybe picked up on something. I mean, aside from this guy running out of gas or just deciding to give it up, running, damaging his car could be the next best thing for this pursuit to come to an end.
Well, we're still on the 215 now, right?
Yeah, we are going
southbound 215.
Southbound 215.
Yep, here we go. Just looking for any of these sparks or anything like that. I don't see anything, at least not on this side of the vehicle. We'll see if we can make our way to the driver's side at some point. Oh, okay, now we're off the freeway. First time in this pursuit that we've come off the freeway here.
Now it's going to get interesting.
Baseline Road. Yeah, and a wrong side of the road, and just, going back northbound. So,
is it getting back on the freeway?
Hoping CHP. Yeah, it looks like that's what they're thinking. And now that we're on the driver's side, I don't see any sparks there either. Maybe there was something momentarily stuck underneath the vehicle. And yep, back onto the northbound 215. So looping back around. Guess didn't like whatever they saw or whatever their plan was there. They scuttled that on the southbound 215 as we now make our way back northbound. We got to get around some of these flyover connectors here off of Baseline Road. But all right, now are they just going to go back westbound 210, or will they hit the eastbound 210 again? We'll see here momentarily.
All right, well, that was the first interesting move that they've made in this in quite some time since we've been watching this, but only to come up and exit and get right back on the freeway and go the opposite direction. So then it makes you wonder exactly what kind of plan, if they have any.
Yeah, and we're northbound 215. The other option is he stays north and heads to Vegas.
That's what I was going to say. That's what you relate. No, something else happened here. What was that, Desmond? Was they just trying to get around a car? Did you see that he went wide?
Yeah, Des is having some IFB issues here.
Okay, they're back up. They're on surface streets again.
They're on surface streets.
And really driving crazy.
Right, and CHP had talked about some spikes, so maybe he saw the spikes up ahead and decided to just get off the freeway. But this is the first time, aside from that little switch he just did.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
And this is the first time we're on surface streets.
And again, the way that maneuver that he did, it looked like he was trying to avoid something. And I don't know if it was traffic, but I bet it was another spike strip.
That's better, thank you.
Another spike strip attempt. Could you tell that from your vantage point, Desmond? Was there another spike strip attempt and he was trying to avoid it?
Yeah, that's better. I'm sorry, Pat. I was having a little bit of difficulty there. I just know we're on Highland Avenue here with some pretty heavy traffic. This is by far the longest that we've been off of surface streets on this one, kind of paralleling the 215 freeway. So the Cajon Pass, definitely an option for this suspect if they want to take this towards the high desert. And here you can see we're going underneath the 210 freeway. As we barrel northbound here on Highland Avenue. It's still CHP on this one, though. We'll see if they have an opportunity for, a pit maneuver, probably more likely now that we're on some surface streets if they get the opportunity, maybe at a red light or something like that.
All right, Desmond Bull. I'm going to turn it over now to Jeff Vaughn and Susie Suh, who are going to pick up our coverage of this high-speed pursuit.
Here we go.
That's a pursuit.
There it was, right there. Spinning them around.
All right, we've been waiting for this all day. Now they're going to pin them in, it looks like.
Yep.
See what they're going to do here.
And that's a K9 unit.
Can you see inside the vehicle? Oh, there they go. Maybe they're going to give up right now. There it is.
Yes, here we go. That was all it took was a pit maneuver there. You know, they had to know CHP meant business with the spike strip, and then they came out there with the pit maneuver, as I was suspecting there once we got off of surface streets. CHP doesn't like to play around. If they have an opportunity for a pit maneuver, they'll take it, even if it does, you know, a little bit of incidental damage to their vehicle, and it looks like that did on that one. But it's going to be worth it to bring this one to an end here. The suspect immediately getting out with their hands up and surrendering. We can see the passenger, and we'll see how many people are in the rear seat as well.
All right, we mentioned that there were 3 suspects in the car, right? This obviously is the driver. Haven't seen anybody else exit. So they're waiting to get this person.
Yeah, they're going to go one at a time on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's those all those guys in the plain clothes. Those are all those, I believe, detectives or undercovers that we were talking about from the unmarked. So they've been tailing this the whole time, even though CHP took over. I believe those are LAPD officers that have been with this the whole time.
Well, this is just a violent looking scene, though, when you've got all those officers with their guns drawn. But then again, we're talking about burglary suspects. They wanted this to come to an end. And as we mentioned at the beginning of this chase, this started with LAPD undercover following these guys. And then LAPD and marked vehicles picked it up. And then they finally called on CHP once it got on the freeway to help them out. And here they are.
And there is that passenger Des was talking about in the tank top. Yeah, in the front seat there. So I can't
see till they get out. Oh, now I can make it out.
And then probably one more in the back if they were saying 3 people in the car.
But it stopped with the pit maneuver.
It looks like they have their hands up as well.
After what? 2 spike strip attempts that we saw. 2 or 3, right?
2, yeah. Two attempts, and then they were talking about a third one. And, you know, Pat, I wonder if that's why, you know, we saw that swerve and all of a sudden he got off the freeway. I wonder if they saw the other spike up ahead and made that last-ditch effort to get around it.
Well, their mistake, they got off the freeway.
Yeah.
They got onto surface streets.
Oh, and there's, look, so you got somebody coming over the driver's seat here.
Uh-huh. Yep. All right, so we know for sure at least 3 people in the vehicle. Up.
That's not the one that was in a tank top.
A little difficulty there. Got his hands up, though.
But they're going to want him to come to them.
Yeah.
They're not going to approach.
You can see the officer there motioning for him to back up. So hands up, probably turn around and slowly walk back towards them.
Interesting that they made them climb over the driver's seat and not get out one of the passenger doors. I've only seen that one other time, and I don't know if they just don't want people moving around and they just want them to come out the same door, but that was kind of interesting, too, that they had him climb over instead of just get out one of the side doors.
On the passenger side. Now, do they suspect one more?
Yeah, the front passenger seat. That was the rear passenger, and there's still one more in the front passenger.
All right, given the call-outs here for them to motion out, we'll see if they're going to make them come out at the driver's side as well. I'm wondering maybe just because the windows were so tinted, they didn't want to have that kind of split second of not being able to see the suspect as they were coming out the rear door there, open with the tinted windows. Maybe that's why, because they wanted to be able to see him through the windshield the entire time. So maybe instructing this person to come out through the driver's side as well. And
they're moving.
Indeed, it does look like a female passenger.
Yeah, she's climbing over the passenger seat through the driver's side, and there it is. There's the woman that you were describing in the tank top.
Yep. And she was, I mean, pretty calm. Every view that we had in the from the front, you know, they were sitting there almost like with their hands in their lap. We never saw any fidgeting or crazy movements or anything erratic or anything like that coming from the driver or the passenger on this one. They were just kind of sitting there stone-faced, and now being taken into custody. Again, they believe that there were only 3 in the vehicle, so at this point, probably just going to do one more call out, and if they get no response, they'll walk up, clear the vehicle, and we should see 4 fingers for code 4 all clear.
So real quick, I just noticed on the back of the plain clothes, their bulletproof vest there, it's LA Impact. LA Impact is that regional crime suppression task force that operates with a bunch of different agencies, LAPD, Pasadena PD, the Sheriff's Office. They've got a ton of different agencies, and they're kind of tasked as they're clearing the vehicle now with kind of getting these bigger groups and things like that. They're looking for the higher end suspects, if you will, and LA Impact is the one that's involved in this.
And they've got the K9 in the vehicle. I mean, they made pretty quick work. Let's say they followed this. It took a while to get to them, but they got them off the freeway, apprehended them. And again, I just have to bring up, I know this was a residential burglary, but I think, you know, law enforcement has been on pretty high alert in the past couple of days anyway, considering we've had a number of burglaries that, granted, happened at larger malls and stores, but still burglaries nonetheless. The one at Irvine was not big.
Right, and you never know what else these people might be wanted for. I mean, the burglary could be just the technical want, but you could have warrants, you could have other things going on with these suspects as well.
All right, well, guys, that looks like a code 4. So we're going to end our pursuit coverage and turn you back to regular programming, and we'll have more on KCAL News at 8 o'clock. Thanks for joining us.